Hey PJs, welcome back to another video. Today I'm reviewing a subscriber slime shop. This is Sage Slime Shop, and as always, if you are interested in checking out this shop, I will link it down below in the description. As a side note, I would definitely recommend adding more protection for the slimes, maybe bubble wrap around them or even more packing peanuts if that's what you prefer. There just wasn't a lot in there, and if it cracks or anything, that's usually on the slime shop if they didn't provide enough protection, if that makes sense. So I definitely recommend upping that a little bit, but nothing cracked for me, so that's awesome. Besides the slimes, I was also sent some extras in this bag. The extras included their business card and a little corgi sticker, which is adorable. I love the business card. It's got everything on it that anyone's going to need to know, and it is very neat and awesome. They also sent a little pig squishy and some activator, which isn't labeled. Of course, I always recommend labeling it, and I would recommend sending a little bit more just because that is such a tiny amount of activator. I used it, I think, on this first slime and it was gone, and I still had to use more, so it's just something super small to recommend if you feel like it. Anyways, this first slime is called Northern Lights. It is a pigmented clear slime that shifts from green to blue. It is described as stretchy with amazing bubble pops, and it is scented sweet coconut cream pie. This slime did arrive a little sticky, but that's perfectly normal, especially during the summer months, and even more normal for not only clear slimes but pigmented slimes. I'm not really sure why, but they seem to melt a lot more and they change the texture. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really play with a lot of pigmented slimes because I feel like not a lot of shops do them, so it's really nice that this shop is doing that. I'm just not a huge fan because it changes the texture, makes it more of like a gummy clear, and makes it a lot stickier and tackier, and I just really don't like those two things. To help with that tackiness, you could at least semi-coat the slime, or you could just make it thicker. I've noticed that thicker, more putty-like clears won't leave nearly as much residue or be as tacky, and you could figure out how to do that. There's multiple ways to make a thicker slime, and with pigment, even though it makes it more gummy, it also makes it thicker, which you guys have probably noticed the bubble pops are a lot different than just a normal clear slime, because even though this is kind of gummy or whatever, it is slightly thicker, so the bubble pops are a lot louder. I think that this slime was described perfectly. It is very stretchy, and the bubble pops are really good. They start off super loud, and the more you inflate it, there's just a lot more bubble pops. Even when you like stretch the slime and you're not looking for bubble pops, they still happen. It's just such a loud slime. The pigment shift is gorgeous, and even though the scent kind of sounds weird because nothing about Northern Lights and coconut cream pie they're like not related at all, I think it smells really good. It is pretty artificial, but again, like how official and not artificial are you gonna get with scents that go in slime, right? So I think it smells really good, very sweet, and very coconutty. A word of caution with anyone who wants to purchase this one: if you do get it, just remember it is a pigmented slime, and it is a very heavy pigmented slime, so the pigment is going to get all over your table and your hands just like it did for me, and it's kind of hard to get off, but the slime is kind of worth it because it's like super gorgeous. This slime did leave quite a bit of residue, but honestly I was too busy trying to create bubble pops, and just this slime was just so mesmerizing to look at that I didn't really notice it until I showed it off on the camera. But because of that, it is getting 4 out of 5 pajamas. This next slime is called Dragon Fruit Refresher. It is an unscented coated clear slime that comes with a dragon fruit Fimo mix and a dragon fruit charm. So the first thing that I wanted to mention and talk about is that this slime is described as a coated clear slime, and it definitely is at least semi-coated. And the reason that I'm saying that it's not fully coated is it does leave a decent amount of residue. And, you know, just being super picky, I guess, so that you know the difference between semi-coated and coated. If it's coated, that means it's like not going to leave any residue at all. A good example of that would be like if you get a slime from Momo Slimes and it's one of their water jelly slimes. If you guys have ever tried one of those, I've reviewed them a few times now. They just don't leave residue. It doesn't matter how hot your hands are. It doesn't matter how long you hold it. It just will not leave residue, and it's really hard to do a coated slime if it's not a Korean glue slime, and as far as I can tell, this one is just like Elmer's glue. So even if you did your best to like coat it with whatever, you know, some people use like contact solution and stuff, it just won't really fully coated. So I would definitely call this a semi-coated slime, and there's really nothing wrong with that, because if you want to like keep a thicker, clear texture like this one is, keeping it semi-coated is something that I would definitely recommend, because making it fully coated is going to make it really runny. I know I said this slime leaves a decent amount of residue. Honestly, I don't know what I was talking about. I meant to say a minimal amount of residue, and I'm too lazy to go fix what I said because it's just too complicated on this editor. Everything else seems to be easy with this thing that I'm editing on, but that part, it just isn't easy. So anyways, I meant to say a minimal amount, and what it did leave really didn't bother me because I just didn't notice it too much. And the fact that I'm saying that residue didn't bother me is weird, because I just hate residue so much, but this one I didn't mind. Just like the last slime, this slime had incredible bubble pops, and they were super easy to achieve. And usually with clear slimes, when they start to fog up like this, I lose all motivation to play with them because I just don't really like the way they look. But this one is a huge exception for me because it looks gorgeous. I know it's not close to a pink drink, but it looks like the pink drink from Starbucks. So it still fits the theme, and it's just a gorgeous color even when it inflates like this. I definitely feel the same way about these types of slimes like Dragon Fruit Refresher and Strawberry Refresher slimes as I do about cereal milk. So many people make them that you definitely have to stand out, and this one really does for me, especially since I inflated it and the color is still so pretty. Like, that's awesome. Usually they don't look that great, but this one looks incredible. So of course it gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. This last slime is called Tangy Lemon Marshmallow. It is a DIY clay slime that comes with a white sleigh base, a 2-ounce icy slime, 3 clay marshmallows, and it is scented like sweet lemon marshmallows. The base also had some lemon Fimo slices at the bottom, which I forgot to mention, but they're there and they're very pretty. So the base is definitely a thinner clay slime. It's very soft and it gets puffy by itself, so I knew this was gonna be a good one. I'm kind of getting tongue-tied because I'm just so excited to tell you about this one. I'm not gonna lie, like, I have been waiting to post this review for so long because this slime is incredible and I just wanted you guys to see it. Like mentioned, it comes with a 2-ounce icy slime, and I would definitely like to have this one as its own slime. I'm not really sure if they sell icy slimes that have a texture like this, but it's extremely soft. It doesn't leave a ton of residue, and I just really liked playing with it before I had to add it to the top of the base slime. I believe the marshmallows are made out of Daiso clay, and seriously, props to the shop owner for being able to mold like marshmallows, be able to mold anything with that, I can't say the word, but that frickery of clay, because if you've ever worked with Daiso, it does not want to work. Like, the second you push into it, it becomes super sticky and stuff. So, like, I would have thrown it across the room. Whatever. And these are beautiful marshmallows. So, props to you, because I would not have the patience to do that. I loved squishing the marshmallows, whether this is Daiso or not. If it isn't, it really feels like it and acts like it. But if it's not, whatever. It's a very soft clay, and it was super easy to mix into the base slime. And what I really liked about mixing this one is just I could feel all of the elements being mixed together simultaneously. I could feel, of course, the base, the clay marshmallows, and the icy slime being mixed, and I was just in the moment. Even though I didn't know how this would turn out, I was super excited to mix it because it just felt like it was gonna be a good slime. And of course, I was right. I'm never wrong, so, you know, of course I'm right? It turned into an incredible slime. Like, I honestly can't get over this one, and I'm terrified that I'm gonna play with it way too much because I've already played with it so much, and I feel like it's gonna die on me, and I really don't want that to happen because it's so fun to play with. Like, you guys are gonna see it. It inflates so much, and it gets so soft. Like, it's got to be lighter than a cloud when it gets all poofy and stuff. Oh my goodness. It's incredible. And even though it fully inflates to, like, I'd say a good quadruple its size, it doesn't get tacky ever. Never ever does it ever stick to me or leave residue or anything, and that's awesome. And, like, if it couldn't get any better, it also has really loud bubble pops sometimes, and that's not something you can really achieve with a really poofy slime like this. Usually they're just, like, very soft, subtle bubble pops, but no, these are loud. So it's got the bubble pops, the sizzles, no tackiness, it inflates a ton, and it's super soft. I love this one so much. I honestly, if you guys ever get the chance to try a slime like this from this shop, please do. Of course, it gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. And with that, that is the end of this review, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you want to check out this shop, which of course I highly recommend, even if they're not in stock, please keep them in mind next time you want to buy from an underrated shop or anything like that, because these slimes were really good. I will link the shop down below in the description. If you have a slime shop or any business that you want me to review, please feel free to email me. It's always in the description as well. Now I am signing off, and I will see you guys in the next one.